So see what.
All right. Welcome everybody. We're back again. Back again. So this is the start of season 18 of Natural Selection Competitive Play after a long hiatus, a long summer break in which we saw playership amongst our competitive community kind of naturally expanding and waning. We have now have the the competitive spirit is all backed up and wants to play a few games, that's for sure. So it's been really fun. I don't know if you've had the chance, everybody in the community, to join us playing Gatherers, but they've been popping off, getting a couple of every day, the kind of thing that in our small competitive scene is absolutely a joy. And we're excited to finally return to season play. The
So how many?
previous season had been on a tourney schedule, and it was really revitalized the scene for a period of time. But I think we all agree that the meaning of having badges, of prizes, of big, of competitive play, it is definitely compounded when there's a little bit more on the line. So a season is what we're doing this time around, and it's going to be really exciting to have all of you joining us and to get back to normal season play. It's going to be a lot of fun. And it looks like you have options today. If you, I guess Ranger and Nana are also casting. So please, if you can check in with them and see how they're doing, and I'm happy to. Yeah. Yeah, so normally we have a sign-up situation where I guess we kind of crossed our paths here. Either way, it's fine. I totally recommend that you go and check out the analysis on don't want to show that on stream. Sorry, I'll switch my view here. Hold on. So yeah, Ranger obviously gonna have a lot of great things to say, but I hope you'll stay with me and join me on because I love to do this for you guys, and I'll be here throughout the whole season. Ranger's also playing on a team, or he might be. I know his sort of situation, whether or not he's actually able to show up for matches, is always shifting. So I imagine that he'll be able to provide some excellent commentary. He's the kind of guy who really has a deep understanding of the game, and he'll probably be joining us at different points on the season. But I'm really happy to bring my point of view and my casting to you guys. So I can't wait to get this game underway, and I hope you'll stick with me and have some fun. So let me just see. As we're waiting for a couple more players on either team, let's give a little brief explanation of these teams. We're going to see an interesting matchup here. We Surrender is Timo the Hippo's team. As you might know, Timo is the best player in the game. So it should be an exciting group of people that he's been able to field. And I can't wait to see what they are able to bring to the table. Sorry, I'm just trying to find my overlay. Everything sort of, it's been a minute since I've had the opportunity to do this, so bear with me just a moment as we get started and I iron out some of the wrinkles. So let's see. Yeah, buddy. Come on down. Join the stream. Having a couple of people logging back in. It's nice to see even a modest showing for the beginning of the season. As things ramp up and the games will continue to be more exciting, this is going to be a great game for sure. We get to see the elaborate, the eccentric, the kind of the variety of strategies a commander like Phone can implement on the field. He's really one of those few players in the current meta that has the ability to play commander at a high level, but also takes risks and truly tries to shake up the standard play. So it's really going to be exciting to see what he gets to bring to this round. We Surrender are super competitive players. They've all been putting a ton of hours into this game, but they have some new players. They're also they're willing to take risks in the roster, in the amount of and their play style, and it's going to be an interesting game. I think because both teams are going to be able to take this round. They're going to be able to experiment in this round and try new things. They both have, from one side, very experienced players who have the ability to and the desire to shake up the meta, and on the other side we have slightly newer players that have a really interesting mix and a good vibe. When you play with Timo, he has a what is it called? Indomitable good nature. Let's put it that way. Some people, it's interesting to experience that when we're all such tryhards. It's really fun to have people in the community that are able to just bring a passion and a joyful innocence to play, because that's what we're doing. We're playing. So it's great to have these players on both sides, to have a little competitive natural selection for all of us to enjoy. And I think, we're a small community, and like all small competitive communities, there's this kind of there's a gap of desire to want to play at a competitive level versus the ability to feel like you're ready, feel like you're able to do that without, I think there's a worry that one might humiliate oneself to play a game that is so well understood by such a select few number of people. And it's really exciting when we get to a chance to showcase strategies that are out of the ordinary and players who are new to the game. I think one of Hippo's players, I think Sick IGN, I think he's got a number of hours in the game, but he only just recently started playing competitive. So if you are on the fence and you're interested in playing in match play, in competitive play, come on down to play on NSL, on ENSL, and jump in on some gathers and, join up for some PCWs and find a way to join the competitive scene. It's going to be great. Yeah, Void. I'm just seeing you in the chat. I agree. It's gonna be it's gonna be interesting. The Snoofed are in for an excellent round of merciless competitive play. So I can't wait to just get the season rolling again and try to work around my crazy work schedule to bring you guys as much competitive natural selection as possible. I hope you guys enjoyed your summer. I know that's sort of a weird thing coming off this last year. All of us kind of cooped up in our rooms, not exactly sure if we're allowed to go outside. Summer was a welcome break from all of that. And as we're kind of continuing towards a healthier, happier society, we also get to re-engage with the games we love, or the game we love. I mean, this is it for me right now. The other game I play is Dota 2, and I'd say that's pretty far from a love affair. It's exciting. I'm really stoked to get this for you guys. So. There has been some banter going on here, so I'm not exactly sure Yeah, we've got a number of people joining in, watching the cast, watching the game from inside the server. I think we might lock the server and ask some folks to jump out, but mostly this is, I think, out of the. I think we're here to have fun tonight. Like that's the objective from all the people in this match, and I hope they do. I hope that we have. It's the normal season play right now, so we're gonna have 2 rounds on each map. It's gonna be Tram for the first map, and then it's gonna be a version of Summit called Summit 338, I believe. It's 33 something. Anyways. Yeah, so let's think. These maps, probably the people are joining us from all over the world, all of our community, um, our siloed communities, mostly in parts of the east coast of North America and Europe, but all over. We do have people joining in occasionally from Australia. We used to have some players. We still have players from Russia who are interested in the game. So it's just it's really fun to be able to do this and bring this to you guys, and just so I think we're looking for the 6th player for the Marine team. We should have them joining up in a moment. I believe the guys in the game are mostly joking around with one another. But let's talk. We'll talk in the meantime while we're waiting for that last player, which is typical of kind of our of any small FPS scene, any small community-run organization.
I planned this.
You're gonna have.
This is how we're gonna win the tournament, guys.
All
Just
right.
force forfeits. It'll be funny.
So you guys are hearing a little bit of in-game chatter. That is from one of the players on We Surrender. They're hoping for a win on technicality. We take those. I think they are saying right now, but yeah. So there's amazing players on Snoofed. Snoofed is got to be one of the top teams in the season. We have 8 teams this season, which doesn't seem like the whole lot in the scheme of competitive video games outside of this community, but it's nice to see that we're able to field 8 teams. Depending on how deep the roster is, that's quite a number of players. But Yams is a great NS player, has been playing for years, incredibly vicious with his aim, just a very strong player. If you look up some of the tutorials that we have linked on the NSL Discord, I think he's got some Kovac tutorials that he helped hand select. I don't know if he designed or anything, but hand selected for practicing aim in NS2. He takes FPS games fairly seriously. Mendo is a streamer which some of you may be familiar with. I haven't actually seen any of his content, but I think he's a relatively well-known dude. But he's absolutely fantastic with aim. When he plays on Marine, he's as good as any of the veteran players, if not better. He's just a wicked shot, and definitely something to keep your eye open for. And Phone is a commander. Like I said before, he's played with Golden and Yams and Pecan Sam for a number of teams in the past, and he's a great commander. But like I was saying in the introduction, he's not afraid to make some interesting, with quotations. The meta is fairly settled for most people playing commander. It's really the thinking comes in with how you deal with not achieving, like if you lose resources that you ought to have had, then you have to update your strategy in real time. You know, maybe you get the IP a little earlier, maybe you don't, maybe you skip an upgrade for a second to push out a gate. But basically the strategy is pretty set in stone, where you can really affect the game and change the game game to game is really in observing where you're winning, where you're taking engagements, where you're rotating people. But Phone, to counter what I just said, will upset the meta by trying interesting strategies. He's much more willing than most commanders to goof around and try something unexpected, and a lot of the times it becomes incredibly difficult to deal with. But it's the kind of strategies that you really only see him pulling off. And I expect, because We Surrender is sort of a mixed skill level team. They have a lot of excellent players, and we should definitely
just tank the forfeit. Let's go next
take
round.
them as seriously as any other team. They're great players.
Dude, it's literally.
But I think because they have some newer players.
Okay, bye.
I wonder if I can mute in-game sound. Probably not important, but I'm sure there's some way to do it. There ought to be.
Yeah, this is straight admin abuse.
Anyways,
you're ruining the integrity of the NS2 competitive scene.
Yeah, now we know that if we lose, it's just because of the admins. It's okay.
What? You're gonna see a strongly worded Reddit post about this. I hope you know.
You see, Timo, you have to ready up, and then an auto forfeits you, Trago.
Yeah, so here we go. Game's about to get started. I am really excited to see this. And we're going to switch the overlays. All you wonderful people in chat will be relieved to know that I won't be starting out the season with that big of a goof. And we start with a classic warehouse start for aliens. We'll probably see Sick IGN or Dusty Hair running in here and getting the Gorge for the quick tunnel. Expansion out on one side for the aliens. Golden already doing chip damage to Duddy. Duddy, a very strong player, and I'm not sure if he's also playing for... Oh, Duddy gonna get caught. Golden outthinking him. It's fun to see that little engagement. And right now, Dusty Hair getting the parasite on Golden. They have only one parasite, or two parasites on the field now. Yams? Oh, if Timo hit that first bite, that would have been a very different engagement. Now Yams is going to be able to push into the hive and get some pressure on. Weapons 1 upgrade. That's something we should all consider as a little bit unusual right off the bat.
I was just spiking.
Okay, we'll take this Skulk's perspective as he tries to push out. This is actually kind of a difficult dance that Skulk will have to do. Meanwhile, Golden is taking the ever crucial pinch, or he's gonna... Yeah, you see that Golden has pulled all the activity of these Skulks away. Killing that Cis chain is very annoying. So now all this is like the entire alien team is reacting to the two people pressuring.
There's another one, there's another.
The Marines should be able to walk right into... Oh, and Sick! Oh, he gets out just in time. That's great for that Gorge player. He's one of their newer players. He's getting good very quickly for a new player joining the competitive scene. But just the fact that he was able to keep that Gorge alive is super, super important. And we see now that the alien res is getting established. It's a little bit slow to come up online. They didn't use 2 drifters, or if they did, that drifter was killed in platform. Actually, it looks like Golden might have killed that drifter because the plat RT was almost finished. I think if it hadn't been built with a drifter, it would have been a little bit less complete. But now the aliens are doing okay. This looks relatively correct as far as alien play goes. The only thing to think about is we're just now starting the Crag Hive, and we're floating upwards of 40 res right now. Oh boy, this is a dangerous moment. The Caster's Curse has landed squarely on the alien's head. As I say that, they're doing okay, and suddenly the warehouse tunnel pressure is out of control. They do take the pressure, they do kill the tunnel and switch quickly to finishing off the RT. The whole alien team is balling up. We can see them in north tunnels, going the long way around. Maybe a little bit too scared to go through this vent, and Yams is sitting inside it. Pecan Sam and Mendo already holding the pinch. Now reinforcing aliens will have a difficult time getting out of the hive. Fortunately for the alien team, most of them are already in mezzanine. That tunnel will be able to be reestablished, but the pressure is still on in two places. Golden in the hive, and Pecan. Oh my god! Lurk Egg has died! Golden, I missed the timing, but Golden certainly didn't. That is absolutely the kind of thing you expect from these high-tier players. The fact that they know the exact timing of the Lurk Eggs. Oh my god, and it's absolutely no mercy for this alien team. Absolutely zero. Now, this is a very strange choice for the alien commander have done. This was probably most likely supposed to be Crag, which is the alien structure which sends out heal waves in a pulse, in area effect around the structure, and not a shell which provides the upgrade. But either it's just it'd be very strange for that to be purposeful. So a few unforced errors out from this alien commander, putting his team in a pretty poor position. And then the rest of it was very strong, very aggressive Marine play. Really, really. Oh, you can see another one of another phone deviation in strategy right here. You can see in the bottom corner of the screen, advanced assistance, and cat packs are coming out. Cat packs only are 1 res a piece instead of 2 res, or maybe the vice versa. Actually, I'm not entirely. Yeah, I think it might be vice versa. Anyways, meds and cats are both kind of cheap. This is very unusual for cat packs to be out this early. Usually you would prefer to take... Oh yeah, and Timo now GG's for his team as team captain. He is happy to do that. This has been a quick round one, only lasting 5 minutes. But yeah, I think it's the right choice to get some more games in before you've tired out your team. You've got a very, very competitive opponent in Snoofed. They're just about the top of the tier in terms of players. Look at that. A deadly 39% accuracy. Mendo, the streamer, the new golden boy of the game, mainly because he is just an excellent shot, but also because he has his notoriety and brings a little bit of notoriety to the game. But man, on Marines, he is just a god. His aim is superb. And you can see putting up numbers like that, 2 deaths to 10 kills. Oh, that is hard to deal with. This whole time, Marines dominated the kills, and overall dwarfed the number of deaths that, or kills that the aliens were able to
Dude, Ranger
produce.
just sent me a dick pic. What the fuck?
Oh, nice, dude. Could you send it to me?
So the average, we're talking average here, including the commander shooting at 20%, is a 30% Marine accuracy. That's pretty mean. And I think Golden killing Timo's Lurk, it's just like, what are you gonna do about that? It's just like that moment where Golden was pushing the hive, killed a Lurk egg, killed a shell, killed the gorge? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he killed the gorge too. At the same time, the mezzanine tunnel is getting 3 pressured by Marines. It's just the alien team, in order to react, in order to try to hold on to the res and the real estate, they were having to rotate their entire team. And that just isn't going to swing when you have players that have the map awareness of a guy like Golden, because he's going to be able to walk into your hive and really pinch you where it hurts, while the rest of the team is trying to respond to Marine aggression elsewhere. Now we see another deviation, slight deviation. Let's going to take Doggo. Oh my god! He doesn't care at all. 2 bites and a parasite just rocket skulking down that hallway. No respect for his competing team, for the competing team. Absolutely merciless. The madman Doggo himself strikes again. He can, trying to take on 2 Marines at once, isn't able to clutch the kill. Sick IGN, the new player, able to finally clutch that engagement. That's a good start for this Marine team. It's they haven't been able to establish an aggressive position, but putting a few aliens back on the spawn queue is exactly what you need to do. And now Doggo is killed. They're gonna have to take a breath. This team is nothing to be, is to be taken seriously as well. Oh, Duddy, one of the more practiced players on the Marine side. It is late for him at the moment, but boy, oh boy, he wasn't quite able to take that engagement. Oh my god, an excellent round of pistol shots flying into that skull. Hitman also about to clutch the engagements. All these skulks are dead, except for Doggo, now back on the map. The next spawn wave, perhaps eggs need to be bought. I'm not exactly sure if the aliens are going to be stuck on that spawn queue for a long time, but you can see already Timo walking in. Oh! Holding on to his bullets. Not landing quite enough there. But you saw him be practiced in the way he was implementing his fire, only shooting at the skulk that he thought was running towards him. If he had been slightly more accurate, he might have been able to clutch both, but that's going to be hard to do in any occasion. Sick movement as they split the Marines' attention around that column. And the room is taken by aliens. Now, a tremendous amount of pressure being put on from this alien team. Perhaps if Dusty can put pressure on Golden right now, there's nobody to back up Golden. If he could have just gotten around those clogs a little quicker, but instead he decides to try to recap or hold on to repairs. It's definitely not a bad move to hold on to the resources you had. But I think in that occasion, from our omnipotent observer view, it would have been more advantageous to try to pressure the gorge while he was alone in mezzanine. There was only one skulk that could have quickly rotated, but now lurks are up. The second hive is dropped. This is exactly what you want from a strong alien position in Tram. The strong alien position looks like these 5 RTs being capped, this second hive being dropped at 3 minutes. These are the timings you look for every round you play Tram. And Doggo takes a lot of chip damage. He actually has to leave through the tunnel. Golden in a lot of trouble. 4-man pressuring. Will they find a strategic way to abuse this pressure? Where's the meds from the Marine commander? These meds have to be coming in. There's so much being committed to this fight. They really need to take... Yeah, I don't know where these meds are. Player is going to get spiked down. Timo's on 2% HP. Old man is in the chair. He needs to be quicker on these med packs. Did he get alt-tabbed? I just don't know. I'm not entirely sure. I do see him now jumping out of the chair to drop the IP. But, yeah, they had 4 men in. That was an all-or-nothing sort of situation. That's the moment where you want to be over-medding your team. And now they lose all their pressure. They lost both sides of that engagement. There was a fight that happened sort of off-screen and repair. And, let's see. Dusty has been putting up some numbers. Ooh, maybe if you can kill a life form. Phone dropping the hive and elevator transfer. Not something you see too often. In lieu of getting upgrades, he's dropped this hive. I think they are assuming one, that they can hold it. The Golden Scourge does go down. Golden Scourge going down in this situation is pretty impactful. Phone has to gorge right away, and he does have enough res as the commander. He's been playing out of the chair enough to get the requisite res resources to go gorge. 3-man pressure. Let's see if it's more effective this time. Lots of meds coming out, but can they afford it? On 2 res nodes with one of them being killed, they don't even have observation cap. This is a desperate push from our Marine heroes as they rush into the room, taking lots of space, pushing out the Lurk. The Lurk is now gonna have to go out and heal. They could focus the tunnel, but instead they want to focus the hive. They have only a couple of seconds. If they don't pick their targets correctly, the alien team is going to be back in here. They maybe should have gone over this tunnel instead. But the room is secured for them, and it is still there in their control. They're taking good positions in the back of the room where they have plenty of line of sight before any aggressive alien pressure could come in. A fade, though, as you hear him blinking around in the side. This alien team is going to make short work of this 3 under-upgraded and under-supported with no res coming in, only shipping RT behind this. This is just moments away from a victory for the alien squad. You can see sick IGN pulling out the knife in one glorious moment, but it's not gonna be able to make any impact at this point. Yeah, another situation where we see maybe old man definitely plays a lot of. He's not as active in the competitive scene. I think the rigors of playing calm against a team like Snoof, I think it's definitely, there's not a lot. It's not like he made big mistakes. It's just when you commit resources in this game, in my position, I'm talking about resources as your team, their position on the map, the way they implement their forward momentum, that is your resource. What you're pressuring, what you're holding, how much you're able to trade, those are your resources. I think even more than the little res counter going up in the corner, it's talking about the diversity of play that can happen in a game. That comes from how you implement movement and which fights, as the Marine commander at least, which fights you're going to provide support for. I think that fight on Mezzanine is the fight you want to be dropping all those med packs for. And I saw Timo in the back of the room trying to find space, getting killed by the offense chamber. That's an NS1 term. God, what the hell? The little shooty McGorge thing. Anyways, you know what I'm talking about. The little Hydra. Yeah, so they 4-man pressured. It was sort of, at this point, they had 2 back res RTs. You're probably, if you're going to commit 4 people, there's a high likelihood that you're going to trade. If you can trade for a tunnel and an RT, Mez especially being a incredibly strong pressure point, if you can trade for that position, then you're in a good position for Marines, even if you're going to lose an RT behind it. But you had 4 people in there and you didn't med appropriately. That's going to mean, not necessarily, but in this case it meant that the alien team was able to dominate the engagement after reinforcing. Maybe if the Marines immediately identified the tunnel as a target, they could have been blasting that. Maybe if the commander meted that was in a separate occasion, I'm sorry. But maybe if the commander meted a little bit faster in the occasion where they're pressuring Mez. Anyways, it was a great game. Thanks. We always want to, I think it's really, I have in the past received constructive criticism from people both who have held the mantle of casting NS2 and of players. Players want to be they want to know that they are playing at the highest competitive level, the highest level that they're able to play at. And I definitely don't want to beleaguer any of these teams, but I don't want to paste over how it is actually like it's a bold thing to do to throw some players that don't play a lot of competitive time together. I mean, Timo, he's out there grinding in gathers, and Duddy, he's out there grinding in gathers, and Sick, he's fucking he's been joining a ton of gathers recently, and he's a little bit of a newer player, but I think it's really great to see people try to put together a team. It's late in this game's lifespan, and the game has never been better. So it's one of these things, like anytime you can infuse a little bit more of energy, of people learning, I don't want to be like, oh, like, thanks, Timo, thanks for like throwing yourself on the third rail for us. No, your team is dope. You got a lot of great players, and I just want to say thank you, though, because I think there's a temptation for the old boys club of natural selection to kind of form around players who've played together in previous seasons when the scene was a little bit bigger, and that experience and the time in the game and the madness of like the high tier of skill that some of these people have been able to achieve, it can be intimidating. I mean, I think that's really why we don't see more people in the competitive scene, is because most people's experience, even coming into like a gather or something like that, is nobody likes to get blown out, and certainly didn't see that here. I think we saw two teams coming up against each other, and the one that was slightly more prepared did end up winning. But I think it's super important that we have people who are dedicated to the community and willing to play and willing to put together the best team that they can muster. And that's like, I mean, what more can you ask for? I mean, that's the kind of thing. So God bless to everybody who's able to play a little bit of this game. I don't know why I have so much of my heart tangled up in a computer game, which at peak hours has maybe 200 people playing, but it really makes me stoked when I see people enjoying the game, playing the game, and getting into competitive, because that's really the game I'm interested in. And we're about to start Summit. Okay, I should have gone over what the differences of this map are from the vanilla version, but we're about to get into the game, so you'll have to forgive me. And so, whoop. No. Why overlay? Why you be bad? Okay, data core. Data core is the alien start. Aliens determine on this map where they spawn, but it also affects where the Marines spawn, because this is a cross-spawn map. The only one that is still in the competitive scene, Sick, IGN, sort of looking for the engagement. Maybe not as familiar with playing comp on this. Ooh, this looks like a base rush. Yeah, it's starting to look like either that or just some sneaky players, but this tunnel does lead directly into this. Okay, yep, that's why they chose this map. That's why they chose this tunnel. I mean, this hive position, because you can get all the way into the Marine base without being seen. Now, this should be sort of, I think this, yeah, they're going to start fighting the hive, fighting the chair. Respawn directly on the chair. Will the commander have the awareness to drop a chair? He does drop a chair in Crossroads. Yeah, this is Phone we're talking about. He's got plenty of experience with these cheesy moments, but doesn't matter. Will the Marines be able to hold it off? Phone now spawning. Oh no! Duddy kills Sick with a friendly fire. That would have been huge if he was able to kill this spawning IP, but he isn't going to be able to do it. Now, if you look at the map, after all that, the aliens are still on 1 RT. The commander has yet to drop ventilation, hasn't expanded out to reactor core. He went for those 3 shells, so the aliens could have had the best chance possible in that engagement. So it makes sense to have done the thing he did, but you can see unable to drop an RT, unable to drop a drifter, and that's the GG. It was an all or nothing strat, and I think, you know, that's fine. That's part of the game. This is, you know, like, cheese is part of every strategy game. What it does is it forces players to be aware that this is a possibility, that changes what the meta allows for, because if you don't play safe, you could potentially lose a game that you felt like you should have won. Cheese is on the menu, and I think that is a good thing. That creates a diversity of play. That creates the demand for the players, the commanders, the strategists of the game to incorporate the possibility of these issues. Whenever you have that as a possibility, it changes the way you can play the game. It absolutely does. I mean, like, there's no doubt about it. Oops. Let me get back to this screen. So, like, you know, if you couldn't proxy racks in StarCraft, you know, the game would be completely different. You know, I don't know, when I tried to learn StarCraft way back when I was a kid, the original StarCraft, the only maps I would ever subject myself to was not ladder, but these funny, like, maps where infinite resources, don't rush before 10 minutes, like, all these sort of, like, yeah, the scene was different. I mean, I think the way that the amount of people who are able to play video games at a competitive level is much, much more. I mean, you used to have, if you were the kid who was lucky enough to have a computer, your own computer, you were going to be better than anybody else you knew. And now we have games like, you know, I don't know if you've ever had the experience now when a game is new and, like, feels so fresh, and for the first 3 weeks everybody's learning at the same time, and it's, like, really kind of exciting. And then everybody gets, you know, you take a week of vacation, or, like, you just stop playing the game for a little while, you come back later, and suddenly, like, the people in the lowest tier are, like, know the strategies and play the game competently. And, you know, I think it's just the difference of the environment that we live within. I think in some ways, funnily enough, that does circle back to our discussion about natural selection. I think the game, when it was released on Steam, and to some degree even now, the population of players that play it don't know that there's this beautiful, you know, gem of a competitive game underneath the kind of pub experience. And I suppose I'm a bit of a comp scene elitist, but unrepentant in that way. So I do feel like it's important to foster our scene, because there's all these whispers, you know. I wish I had more, like, clue you into the behind the scenes of the possibility of the game. I wish I had more, like, there's all these whispers, but they've been whispers for so long, who knows exactly what's going on. But with the completion of Thunderdome, the polishing of Thunderdome, there's supposedly going to be a big drive by people on the dev team and people who they have relationships with to try to make another round of interest in Natural Selection 2 focused on the competitive 6v6 format. It won't be exactly the comp mod that we're used to. There'll be little tweaks that will make it closer to vanilla, but the idea that perhaps, like some other games in the past, they could be picked up by an odd streamer or two, and then who knows, you could see a lot of people interested in NS2 again. And I think more than ever the player base exists now for a game like this. I don't think it really existed in the past. It was just sort of a novel idea that you could maybe combine StarCraft and Counter-Strike, but, you know, it's just the difference between playing even a game like Counter-Strike, at a competitive 5v5 format with the 5v5 rules versus the casual 10v10 format, it's going to be almost unrecognizable. Damn, risky plays from Phone. He wants to see if he can do it. Already up 3-1 in this initial stage. 3 gorges! What a fantastic, curious, interesting debacle. Is Doggo AFK in main? I think Doggo might be AFK, a classic Doggo move. Oh my god, 3 gorges. How fast does this hive go up? You know, it's still building. Still gonna be building by the time the Marines get in here. Only 1 set of Hydras is down. Doggo is still AFK. He's still AFK. Yep, Doggo is AFK. Oh my lord. Alright, let's take a player's point of view as we see the cluster. Oh no. The Fubar. The gorges. The 3 gorges. I've always wanted to see, I actually do think there's a 2 gorge strategy that might be viable. Even having a drifter. But you know, even though they have 3 gorges, little gorge wall being erected. Oh my god, Duddy getting spit down. 3 gorges actually able to put a lot of DPS out, especially if you have a commander that is not medding. Oh yeah, Med's on the ground, but none connecting. Oh my god. Doggo finally awakening into this game. Be funny if he was unaware of the strat until he finally logged back in. But yeah, I think with the reintroduction and the way that gorge tunnels work now, I actually do think there are some maps where I would love to see multiple gorges being used. I think it'd be possible. Right now, this is probably going to be the longest game. Oh, no meds. Oh, almost hitting that med. We have Sick IGN, the new player, in the comm chair. I think they figured they needed more of their veteran players on the field. But I gotta say, Sick IGN was able to put out some numbers in the previous match. I don't think he's really a liability on the field at all. He's getting better at such a quick rate for being a bronze player in competitive. It's pretty astounding. You know, his fortitude, his ability to adapt. It's great to see. Now, Dusty is also a player that I wish we saw more of in the competitive scene. He's an excellent shot and has great movement. Oh no! I wouldn't empty your emptying your clip with aliens behind you like that. Might have been a mistake, but does manage to cut off the sys chain. Duddy now walking in here, putting pressure on the same RT. This RT is going to slowly start to take damage. Just taking up space in this room is enough to force the alien commander to have to redrop those sys. Oh, he really desperately needs to be meted through that. But 2 gorges will be proved to be too many. Old man taking on the base RT on his own. It will be the Achilles heel of this alien team. If you can kill a res node right now, that will put them down on 2 res, delaying life forms. They already have 3 gorges, which means it's going to be probably not a lot of that mid-game life form. It's so much fun to see gorges played like this. This is, I think, a little bit because they allowed themselves to take on this strategy, because maybe they felt like a 3-0 lead was big enough. This is more a for fun, let's see if this strat can work. But, you know, it's going to be competitive. Doggo's lurk is going to be enough to really put pressure on any team. Gorge again, taking the front of the fight. The Marine trying to focus on this skulk, but taking a lot of damage from the Gorge split. Marines up at 4 RTs. The commander does have enough res income to sort of force a few fights and try to med through a few of these engagements with the Gorges. The question is, do you even really want these aliens to be on Skulk? It's going to allow them to put more pressure on your back rows. Of course, having 1 or 2 Gorges is always going to be useful, but 3, might as well try to just push them out of the room, but don't kill the Gorge. I mean, it's just gonna mean that they can't pressure your RTs. A third hive already on the ground. 5 minutes into the game and 3 hives in play. This is gonna be maybe the quickest 3 hive aliens I've ever seen. Will phone going Gorge or taking an upgrade right in front of this fight? We're gonna take the view of these Gorges. 4 Gorges healing with Doggo just biting away. Honestly, I'd be scared to deal with that if I was a Marine team. Oh, the beacon comes in. We will see this fight go the distance as another round of Marines will be spawned. The whole Marine team is in the base, but there's a ton of Hydras down as this whole mess of Gorge spray and Hydras and Marines. Who's even taking damage? I can't really tell from this vantage point. One of the Gorges does go down. Another Gorge dies. But Doggo's Lurk is invincible in this cloud of Gorge breath. The healing breath of the Gorge, keeping this Lurk alive seemingly forever. A few Hydras just barely ticking a little bit of damage. But every tick of damage does make a lot of difference in this game. Oh, Doggo's Lurk finally killed. Timo's gonna feel great about that. That's the moral victory he was looking for all game long. Killing Doggo's Lurk, put a notch on your belt, son. That's an accomplishment in and itself. This game, only time will tell what this Marine team is able to do as the alien team successfully caps the rest of the map with 6 Gorge tunnels to play with. They're going to be zipping around this. And Doggo now gorging. Everybody re-gorging on the alien team. We see 4 Gorges and 1 Lurk. Oh, 3 Gorges, excuse me. Oh, Doggo. Not going to stay gorged for long. Looks to be lagging out. Timo, not able to kill him. Oh, poor Doggo. The Gorge legs just flapping in the wind as he goes in and out of connectivity. Oh, the Gorge is taking a ton of damage, but just as you commit to try to kill that last Gorge, the life form that actually does damage comes in and cleans it up. Phone, the only Skulk on the field. Phone wants to be a Gorge too. Is he able to clinch this fight? Yes, he is. Oh, he might be gorging right there. Yep, that'll be a 3rd Gorge. Will they completely lame up Crevice? Will they make it impossible to pass? How hard would it be to kill assist while actively built by 3 Gorges? Have we ever seen anything like this in competitive NS2? Will it even matter as the Marines jump around doing a little parkour? Another Gorge mercilessly slaughtered. That's Gorge bacon for weeks for his family. He can take that. Oh my god! What is this insanity? Will the Gorge be able to build a clog wall to get back up from this pit? Will it even matter? Oh my god, the elevator. The forbidden elevator. You thought it would never happen in a competitive match, but here it is. Oh. Nope, that Gorge is just stuck down there. That's where you live now. Crevice continues to be a clown car full of antics and players. Could you imagine competitive NS2 taking on this flavor as we see him Gorge valiantly trying to dig himself out of the pit? This is the content that we have been craving. The amazing strats of the phone zone. You've heard about the Twilight Zone. Oh no, he doesn't make it. Pour one out for the Gorge. Alright. How many more rounds of this insanity will the alien team subject these Marines to? Hard to push in a room with over 3 Hydras, though. This tunnel being protected by the last remaining gorge. Oh my god. Nobody wants to leave this match. It's too much fun. Both teams sticking it in for the long haul. Sticking in it for the long haul. Sticking it in. Oh god. Run, Gorgie, run. Golden. Golden on alert. Alright. What? I can't actually see this fight that's happening inside the tunnel. Maybe if I take perspective. Oh, that's a nice meat shot on that fleeing lurk. That Gorge has to get out of here. But they know they can spike from far away. Oh, Timo pulling out the pistol. That's probably his best bet to try to clinch that lifeform kill. Does end up putting up a bunch of damage. Study fighting a lurk and two Gorges. My god. So much action. 5 RTs to 2 with the third one coming up for this Marine team. No standard measures of where they are in the position of the team in the game versus like where they should be, what they could be. You know, nothing's gonna apply in a game like this that is so out of the ordinary. What can we expect? Will these two Marines be able to hold this hive on their own? Oh, one lurk. You can see him creeping around the corner there. A few of those rifle bullets do slam into his wings. Now 2 lurks. It's up to the rifle to push these lurks out of the room. The shotgun is just too short of a range. Too much damage to this lurk. And the Marine pressure has been taken off. But not before the other Marines of this team, 2 shotguns and a rifle, take this hive room. They're in the back of the room. This is a square little zone. It's that's flat and open. That's usually in favor of Marines. Looks like Doggo might be lagging out again. Yep, Doggo's lagging out. But will it matter? Oh, Xeno has come. You've got exploding space puppies. That's not something we get to see all that often. Oh, another devastating skulk. Suicide skulk bomb. Oh. Did we get through? Oh my god, it's so much fun to see. It's Snoofed. All right. You know, that went about the way we expected, but it was a fun game. That was a lot of fun to watch, and if anything, those little moments shows you that you can have a ton of fun. It's not all sweaty. It's not all sweaty nerds in this community. It's nerds who like to enjoy themselves and have a good time. And that's what we're here for. Just to get this game, you know, just to have a fun time with this game. And yeah, this has been NSL TV. I'm your host, Ozilla, and I'd like to thank you for joining me. It's been a great pleasure of mine to get to do this again, and I can't wait for some of the games. They are coming. The one that I believe is on Monday. I'm not exactly sure when, but I have it in my... I think it's earlier in the day. Maybe it's, yeah, I think it's 5 o'clock instead, or 4 o'clock instead of 7 o'clock. It's 19 PDT, which is a European time zone, so I'm pretty sure it's earlier in the day than this is. but I would have to double check for what that actually translates to for American time zones. Anyways, it's been a pleasure. That game. Let me just give you a little preview of what that game's going to be. I have it in a document. Let's see. Sorry. I know this isn't the excited energy that we just had, but I can only imagine what's being like being a talent on like the main stage of something like TI where you're doing this for literally hours. But pleasure to do it just for the moment. So I have a document here. So it will be 1 p.m. At 1 p.m. on October 25th, we have Saltier Skulks versus Hand Washers, and I think that should be a really fun game to watch. So please do put it on your calendars if you enjoy watching the games. Please do remember to have that time to join us. I'm going to open the NSL website really quick. I want to see the rosters for those teams. Don't think I have a desktop capture right now for you guys, so you'll have to just bear with me. I sometimes chewing gum and walking are a little difficult when you're clicking around the website, if you know what I'm saying. So if you go to the ENSL website, ensl.org, and you go to contests and you click on the tab contests, you can bring up the rosters for the season 18 teams. So we're going to have Saltier Skulks, a UK team, versus I think, what did we say it was? Versus Hand Washers, which I think is mixed Eastern European or Russian. So let's see. Hand Washers, Crazy Cat, Keo, Hero. These are some characters that have been in the game for a long time. I'm a little